Every single time that you tell yourself tomorrow, 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 you constantly reinforce that you living your dream life is not urgent, it's not important, and you don't have to reach it. Sad. Quite frankly, you're too broke, too sad, and too depressed to be starting a day away from today. I will show you the practical ways in which you can be able to incorporate these two mindset shifts in order to change your life, not tomorrow, but today. The practical steps are just 4, and they are as simple as I will put them. The first thing that you need to do once you realize that there is a difference from chapter 1 between the feelings and thought patterns of your higher self and who you are right now is to do a whole journaling session. And not your normal journaling. This is not where you sit down and you write everything that is not working. No. This is not where you pick up your laptop and your devices and start making a vision board. No. This is the part where you sit down in a calm environment. Think carefully about a day in your dream life. So for instance, I want to make it very practical for you. You have to make it detailed. So from the time that they wake up, what wakes them up? Is it the sound of birds chirping? Is she woken up by a wonderful alarm? Some of you need to change your alarms. And that's a story for another day. But if your higher self exists in such a calm environment and she wakes up with such safety, that alarm of yours that is waking up even the neighbors, disturbing your dorm mates, is not the alarm of your dream self. So you are journaling it from a point of you've already lived this day. So you'll say, I had the best day of my life. That's the first prompt. Then you continue to write. I woke up at this time. What was she wearing when she woke up? What did she do immediately she woke up? Did she just stretch out her hands and just feel the warm air and the breeze around her? Where did she wake up? Did she wake up in a tropical island? Did she wake up next to her partner, her life partner? You have to be extremely detailed. And the reason why you have to be detailed is we're trying to close the gap that exists between the version of you that is now and the highest version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to tap into the feelings and the thoughts of this person. Once we can do that, then we can be able to close that gap. And unless we have the key details of how she lives her day, then we can't be able to know what habits will allow us to essentially develop a thought process and a feeling process or feeling pattern that matches with our higher self. So you're writing a day in your life. List out the environments that she goes to. What are the people that she surrounds herself with? What are her hobbies? What are the things that she does day to day? Where does she sleep? Where does she eat? How does she sleep? What is her evening routine? Does she work out? Where does she go to work out? And so on and so forth. So once you have this journaling process down, you have written down a day in your higher self, the next step that you need to take is step number 2, which is an intensive life audit. Now, before you start doing the regular SWOT analysis of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, that's not what we're doing here. The type of life audit that I want you to do that I have seen help me over the 6 years that I have tried to reinvent myself, yes, 6 years, is you must do your life audit from a positive writing space. For instance, when you look at the majority of life audits that we have, people always tell you to write down the things that are not working. But I don't think that's helpful because in essence, if I know I'm doom scrolling, if I write down what's not working and I write doom scrolling, how exactly does that help me? How? Yeah, I thought so. It doesn't. Don't write that. We are going to write our life audit from a positive mindset. You're going to look at the actions that you are already doing in your typical day. that are pushing you closer to your higher self. So from the journaling that you have, the journaling of a day in my higher self, you need to write down the habits of your higher self. You need to write down the habits that she's doing. If she's working out, she eats healthy, you write them down in a list. And then you pick out the things that you're already doing in your day-to-day life. Now, disclaimer, if at this point, step 2, you realize that there's nothing that you're doing that is literally the same as your higher self, which I find extremely rare, I still want you to view it as a positive thing. It means that you have all the time in the world to do it. We do not want to remove our bad habits and then incorporate good ones. The best method that I have seen, and as I said, I've done this for 6 years, the best method to be able to take up good habits is to drown your bad habits with good ones. Once you have listed out the activities that you're already currently doing, you also need to look at the list and establish the type of habits that you can do exactly where you are. The third thing that you must do, the practical step number 3, is that you must embody your higher self. When you start listing out the activities and how you can do them exactly where you are, you'll start realizing that actually this is not exactly how my higher self would have imagined living her life. One of the habits for me, for my higher self, was a person who is into their fitness journey. So I needed to work out. I didn't have the most exquisite gym around me. I was still staying in school. However, I did have the school gym. So that's what I did. I worked with what I had in order to generate the feelings and thoughts of my higher self. The key secret here is not just to go and just to do it. The key secret here is to ensure that as you do it, you embody the thoughts and the feelings of your higher self. That is the only way to close that gap. That is exactly how you manifest absolutely everything that you want as quickly as possible. So for instance, for me, every morning when I went to the gym, and you can ask people would find me and I would be the happiest in the gym. You can ask anybody. And it was because I didn't see it as my typical school gym that only had I don't know how many people that I obviously knew. So it was not a networking environment. And not most of those people were interested in the things that I was interested in. There was a direct dissonance between the type of gym I wanted to go to and the one that I was going to. However, I was extremely overjoyed because I allowed myself to think and feel like my higher self who was going to an exquisite gym. So when I woke up in the morning, I would take up my gym set. I would wear it with the most excitement that I could. I would wear them and I would tell myself, I'm so excited to go to the gym. I'm going to meet my friends. I'm going to meet some very important people. I'm going to do some networking. The environment is amazing. The aura there is so lovely. And remember, because I had exposed myself to this type of environment, I already knew how it felt like. But you still don't have to have exposed yourself to it. Remember, we've already said that you are this person. You already know how exactly you will feel once you go to that gym because you know the reasons why you'd want to go there. Another thing is, if you're manifesting or you're trying to see that the highest version of yourself has a dream job, every single time that you get ready to go to your regular job, the job that you're doing right now, start thinking of it and feeling it like it is your dream job. Prepare yourself like you're going to your dream job. The best thing that I have ever heard is you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. When we are not used to thoughts and feelings of our higher self, when these things happen to us, our nervous system will run into shock. It is scientifically proven thus that once you make yourself very comfortable with the thoughts and the feelings of a higher self, absolutely nothing, and I repeat, nothing will hold you back from getting and living like your dream self. Okay. So Felicity, we've embodied, we've done the journaling, we've done the life audit. What is the next step? We have reached the absolute final step. And if you do not do anything else, do this. In fact, if you make the mindset shifts and do step 1 to 3 but fail to do step 4, you're out. Umebanned. So what is step 4? Step 4, and my most favorite step of all is that you have to start today. And before you fight me on this, something tells me that if you clicked on this video, it's quite concerning that you're not living your dream life. It's quite concerning that you constantly keep reinventing yourself and you never really seem to reach that point. Even if it's not a destination, you're never moving. So if I tell you to do something, what is the harm of not? Every single time that you tell yourself tomorrow, you constantly reinforce to yourself that you living your dream life is not urgent, it's not important, and you don't have to reach it. Sad. The reason you have to start today is that it sends a signal to your brain that we are exactly where we are supposed to be and we have exactly what we need to create our dream lives. It signals it like that. It gives such a big momentum of change, and you are more likely, statistically proven, to keep up with your new habits. So if not tomorrow, not next month, not the next year, and as I said, I'm very type A, I understand that you want to start on Monday, but quite frankly, you're too broke, too sad, and too depressed to be starting a day away from today. Too rude? I hope not. Because I am such a good girl, because I love you guys so much, and I know exactly how it feels to be struggling and being stuck and not knowing where to begin. As I told you, the first reinvention that I ever had in my life was in 2020. That is 6 years away from now. And I really struggled because I didn't know which elements to use. I didn't know what would be best for me to use, what structures, what routines, what guides. I did not know where to start from. I created a free, get this, free product to allow every single one of you to begin today. So if you feel that you are tired of being stuck, you are tired of constantly starting again and constantly moving through these trial and error situations that are never working, I have created a tried and tested system. This is a system that you can finish in a day, yes, in a day, to be able to show you the next steps that you need to take when reinventing yourself. This is your ultimate reinvention guide, and it is free of charge. So if that sounds like something that you know you would most definitely need, just head down to my description. I have linked it down below. With that, my girlies, we have come to the end of our episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.